Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream. So hope everyone is doing well. As always, if you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comment section. I have my comments open on the right side of the screen. So what has been happening in the markets? Well, we did have a lot of tariff news and we did have some fundamental news as well. So how I'm gonna go through this is I'm basically gonna first break down the fundamentals and then I'm gonna take a look at the technicals. That is the new format. In terms of trades, I have been, if you remember from last week. Hey Ahmed, good evening. How are you? From last week, if you remember, I did take a Swiss yen sell and the gold buy with this new approach that I'm adding on top of my current strategy. Okay, so it's kind of like a second strategy, more that has to do more with fundamentals, higher time frames, long-term trades. So let's first go over the trades. That's going to be a little bit more interesting. Swiss yen. I was in a sell setup from here. I had my stop loss, I think, at around 750 level. So if you go to settings, stop loss, I think it was at 750 level right here. Okay. And basically, I just got taken out by a few pips, unfortunately, and then the price started moving down, and now it will be running in some profit. That's kind of what happens. So let me break down the trade. We were back here, okay? We were back here, and first, again, this new strategy, the second strategy has to do with fundamentals. So what you need to know at this point, Swiss yen was very fundamentally bearish. How do I know that? Because I look at different news events, and lately I have been actually looking at the software called Edge Finder from Trader Nick. You have a link in the description and a discount code if you want to check it out. So the Edge Finder software actually told me that fundamentally Swiss yen was bearish. What the software does is it basically gathers all of the numbers, the economic numbers, and then makes a decision, gives a currency pair a score, if it's bullish or if it's bearish. So Swiss yen, very bearish. The Japanese yen is doing good. So Japan is doing good in its economy. The inflation is going up. The interest rates may be going up or are going up as well. So that is all bullish for the underlying currency, which is the Japanese yen. Okay, that is all bullish for the yen. So Swiss yen, why did I pick Swiss yen? Well, let me actually show you that right now, why I picked Swiss yen. So if we stop sharing this and we go to the Edge Finder screen software, present, share, boom, Edge Finder. Okay. So Edge Finder software right here. If we go to Carry Trade Scanner, this is where you can find how much is the divergence between the interest rates. Okay. So if you want to go long on the Japanese yen, you will be paying a big swap fee. Okay. So you want to find the currency that is the cheapest to short if you want to go long the yen. So if you want to, let's say, short the US dollar JPY, where is that? Where is the US dollar JPY? Okay, here. See, so the base currency is 4.5. The quote currency, meaning the yen, is 0.5. So the divergence is very big. So this is going to be very expensive. But Swiss yen, Swiss yen, 0.5 base currency, and the quote currency is at 0.5 as well. Okay, so the divergence is around 0. So what does that mean? Well, that actually means that if you want to short the Swiss yen, okay, or if you want to go long on the yen, the cheapest option is, let me just get TradingView back up. The cheapest option is to choose Swiss yen. That's the cheapest one because otherwise you will pay a lot of swaps. So that was the first reason. I got the fundamental reason. Then I jump on the 1 hour, okay? jumped on the 1 hour, saw a flag formation. This is something that is similar to my OG strategy, okay? So I'm finding momentum, bearish momentum, and then a flag. So first low, first high, second low, second high. The red candle is the entry candle. And then I jump on the 4 hour and I determine where is kind of a good area, where is a good area for me to put my stop loss. And I decided it was just above this high, okay? This kind of major high on the 4 hour chart. So that was my decision. And then if the price does go in my direction, I will just trail the stop loss either on the 4 hour chart or the daily, okay? So I'll just trail it like this, okay, if the price does decide to go in my direction. In this case, unfortunately, I did get taken out, okay? So I got taken out by just a few pips right there, and now the price just crashed lower. So yeah, that is tough, I'm not gonna lie. Not the best sign right there, because yeah, the market basically tapping me out and going lower. It is what it is. It's part of the game. So that was the first trade. Okay. The second one was on gold. Okay. See gold right here. So it pretty much is the same methodology. If we jump in right here, first, what I looked at is I looked at the fundamentals. Okay, so at this point, I looked at the fundamentals. All the data showed that gold is very bullish and that it is very likely for gold to continue being bullish. The Edge Finder software also gave a very bullish reading for gold. Also, if you don't know, the current kind of environment in the markets is very risk off. So people are afraid, stocks are going down. So if you take a look at stocks, S&P just crashing lower, see? So stocks are definitely crashing lower. Let me exit the replay. And when this is happening, gold tends to go up. Okay, so when the stock market crashes, gold tends to go up because people start being afraid, uncertainty in the markets, and yeah, jump back to gold, or yeah, back to gold. 1 hour. So that was the first step, determining the fundamentals. Then I saw a nice break and retest opportunity right here on the 1 hour. So again, this is similar to my OG strategy. So I looked at a large impulse, one candle pullback, break of the high with momentum right there, clean close right here. And then the next candle tagged me in. How did I determine the stop loss? I just placed the stop loss below this low. Okay, so I just placed the stop loss below this low. It's kind of a swing low, and now currently I'm just going to trail the position. So looks like this position is currently running maybe around 1.3 R, which is okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So running some profit, and I'm looking to trail the stop loss. Okay, I'm looking to trail it. Possibly maybe underneath this low or underneath this one. I'll see. I'm yet to consider that, but I'll definitely move the stop loss like very soon. Okay, so yeah, that is a pretty good setup on gold right here. Now I'm still live testing this, so I'm still not going full risk on these trades. I'm going in with reduced risk, still testing it out, still seeing how I can implement everything, and still seeing what is the most optimal way to get in and to place the stop loss and to get out of these sort of trades. Okay. Other than that, the last trade I took, let me take a look at the trade journal. So the last trade I took was on March 6th, which was, see the calendar. Yeah, that was last week on Thursday. Okay, so I must have covered it. I took a euro dollar and I took an Aussie dollar. I think I covered the Aussie dollar. Let me see. The euro dollar, I did some also experimenting with trading the central bank meeting. But basically, Aussie dollar, 1 hour, I think I covered this trade. Right here, okay, right here, 6th of March, Thursday. Yeah, basically it happened in the morning right before the live stream, I think. It was a very nice break and retest. So this one is the OG strategy. This one is the first strategy. So only the 1 hour chart, pure price action, no news, no indicators, just the 1 hour chart. And that's about it. So yeah, basically right here. And I think I took it, yeah, 15 pip stop loss. Very nice uptrend in my opinion. Some V reversal patterns in the per price action. Okay, V reversal patterns, as you can see right here. Those are bullish patterns. And then a break of the high with momentum and a nice clean close on the top. So yeah, nice clean close on the top right there. But it did end up being a loss. So this trade unfortunately did lose in the end. It was a loss. Okay, so that's about it. And that would be about it in terms of the trades that I have taken or that I'm in. Okay, so now let's actually break down some fundamentals. I'm gonna go through. This is something I'm definitely gonna start doing in the future in the live streams as well. So hope you guys like fundamentals because I have been heavily researching them. So let's stop sharing this and let's go back to the Edge Finder, present, share. Okay, right there. Let me try to do this and then this. Okay. So basically, what I want to take a look at is I want to take a look at the top setups. Okay. This is the software that I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. This is a software that does the fundamental analysis for you. So yes, you could do all of this on your own. It's definitely doable. You could gather all of the numbers and make a decision. But this software just does everything for you and makes things much easier. So how I will filter it is let's actually let's only use very bullish or very bearish. Okay, I think those are the most interesting. So as you can see, let's do also bullish and bearish. So as you can see, the pound US dollar is very bullish because of all the good numbers. Okay, Euro dollar very bullish, pound Aussie very bullish, gold is bullish as well. Okay, so I'm in gold. In terms of sell setups, well, you have some yen pairs. You have the AUDJPY, which I do trade. You have the US dollar Japanese yen as well, USD Swiss. So actually, AJ, let me see AJ. Did I miss an entry on AJ? I didn't, but it does look interesting right here in this price action. Anyway, we'll take a look at that. So this is kind of what I focus on. So I would focus on, out of this table, pound US dollar, euro dollar, interesting, AJ, interesting as well. Okay, AJ I like, possibly UJ as well. You can also see one thing that is cool about this software is you can see the historical. So the historical Edge Finder scoring. Okay, this is gold. So this is kind of the last month on gold. This is great for backtesting, and I have been heavily using this feature. So I have been heavily using this historical score indicator to backtest. Okay, basically what I do is I just backtest on the 1 hour chart, and then I look at what is the score on the Edge Finder, and then I go through the whole process. That is for this kind of new strategy. Okay, so that's pretty cool because you can backtest it and you can see, does it actually work on a historical example. Okay, one thing I also use is, well, the seasonality thing is pretty cool. So we can take a look at the gold. See, so I think this measures the last 10 years, and then it tells you what are the best months to be long or short on gold. So you can see the Q1 on pretty much every year tends to be pretty bullish on gold. It tends to have some good months, right? So that is pretty interesting. Let me just see, where is retail sentiment? No. Heat maps. Here it is. So heat maps. That is also great. Okay. See? So here you can see all of the data for the US. Okay. You can see the last, so in yellow is when it last came out. Just a second. Put this back up. Yeah, basically. So economic data, you can see and make a decision for yourself if you want to do that. You have all of the numbers in one place. Okay, so instead of looking at Forex Factory calendar, you can just take a look at this software. So that is about it for the Edge Finder. You saw which pairs are kind of on the watch list, fundamentally on the watch list. So let's get back to TradingView. Let's get back to TradingView. Okay, right here, we're back. And yeah, that is about it for the software. In terms of news, last week we did have, or this week we had PPI, which came in bearish for the dollar. Okay, we also had CPI. So CPI just means inflation numbers. Okay, if you don't know what is CPI, it is just inflation numbers. Inflation came in lower than the forecast. It came in lower than the previous number, which is bearish. Okay, that is bearish for the dollar. Okay, so we do expect possibly for the euro dollar to go up. Okay, that is also the reason why you saw in the software that the software is actually bullish on the euro dollar. It's because of all of these recent news, because of all of these recent numbers. One thing that's cool with TradingView also is you have this one, latest updates, which gives you kind of the latest news. Okay, you can click more events. It's pretty cool. I highly recommend you guys enable these boxes on the bottom, or these circles in the bottom. I think you just click settings, and yeah, you enable economic events, and that's about it. Then you will have them on your chart. Okay, so now the reason why I think most of people actually watch these live streams is because of the technical analysis. So I may actually, for the next one, I may switch and do technical analysis first and then start fundamental analysis, because I think that will be a bit more interesting. Anyway, so now we're gonna do technical analysis. Why do most people watch technical analysis, not fundamental? Because technical analysis is super easy, super simple. I mean, it's not easy, but it is much easier than fundamental analysis. And fundamental analysis is pretty boring, I'm not gonna lie, but it works. There is a big edge in fundamental analysis. So the euro dollar, as I said, fundamentally very bullish, and also the daily chart looks great. I think the daily chart looks very healthy. Okay, I'm bullish on this one. But if I zoom in on the 1 hour, I'm not gonna put it on the watch list because it's just kind of pausing right here. Okay, just kind of pausing right there. A little bit of a pause, a little bit of corrective price action, which I don't really like. I don't like this. Okay, what I need to see on the 1 hour is I would need to see the price continue with the overall bullish momentum. So I want to see this sort of momentum. So I want to see this sort of momentum continue. Okay, I want to see that kick back into the markets, and then I would be looking for some high probability buy setups. All right, so that is the general game plan for me for the euro and the US dollar. Yeah, actually see if we do this. I think it's gonna be a bit better. Yeah, I think that sort of a schedule is a bit better. So anyway, that's about it. Not on the watch list. I'm looking for that large impulse up. Aussie US dollar. So as I just explained, or as I mentioned, Aussie US dollar is looking is neutral, fundamentally neutral. So it's basically doing not that much. It's not really moving anywhere. It's kind of flat. The trouble with the Aussie and US dollars, so if you're trading Forex, you definitely need one currency to be stronger and one currency to be weaker. Then you have a trend. But if both currencies are weak or if both currencies are strong, well then there is no trend. You cannot make any profits on that sort of a methodology. Okay, so the trouble with the Aussie US dollar is that the Aussie is weak currently and the dollar is weak as well. So that is why you don't really have any significant activity right here. In terms of that 1 hour chart, just looks flat and corrective. I'm not really going to put the Aussie US dollar on the watch list because it just looks pretty bad. So I'm being more patient on this one. There's not much I can say. Much better for us to look at something different. In terms of trades, I did forget to mention that. I didn't see anything on the euro dollar with my OG strategy. I didn't see anything that caught my eye. For AU, I did see a flag sell. Okay. Flag sell right here. We did comment on this on the Wednesday call. Okay, we did comment on this flag. If we break it down, first low, first high, second low, second high, and the red candle would be your entry. Okay, the red candle would be your entry candle. But I just saw a bit too much buying pressure right there. Also, prior price action was not the best. Prior price action was pretty flat. Pretty much did nothing. The only good part about it was this large sell-off. Okay, the large sell-off was good. And yeah, then we had that shift, which was also problematic. So that is about it for AU. Currently range bound. What I'm just looking for, to be honest, is just large momentum up or some large momentum down. Until I get that, I shall be more patient. Pound US dollar. So the pound looks pretty similar to the euro dollar. Okay, pound dollar looks pretty similar to euro dollar. Both are very fundamentally strong. So you have good numbers for the UK, good economic numbers, and you have good economic numbers for the eurozone. Technically, this looks good as well. This is a nice impulse up. I like this bullish momentum on the daily chart. Mind you, this is the daily chart. When I zoom in, the 1 hour chart is where I look for actual entries, and the 1 hour looks to be pausing a little bit. Okay. So unfortunately, the 1 hour chart looks ascending, looks corrective right here. This is not the sort of price action I want to see if I'm looking for entry setups. I need to see momentum, and I'm not seeing any momentum here. In terms of trades that I looked at in the last week, well, nothing much. Nothing really caught my eye. Nothing was really that interesting. We were mostly breaking the highs and breaking the lows, so we were mostly moving in a corrective fashion. And yeah, I mean, we also had the news that I mentioned. So we had PPI, we had CPI. Also, next week, you have to remember that we have the Fed meeting on Wednesday. So next week on Wednesday, we do expect that there will be some volatility. We do expect that there will be a lot of movement in the markets. So make sure you keep that in mind. If you have any open positions or if you're looking at positions, definitely keep in mind that you have the Fed meeting, very volatile event, and it could be problematic. It could be problematic if you have a tight stop loss and you're running a trade. Okay. So yeah, GU not on the watch list. Let's switch to the JPY pairs. So EJ, Euro Japanese yen. In terms of setups, I wasn't really looking for anything. Nothing really caught my eye. Nothing looked high probability. So just currently looking also pretty corrective. Descending right here, starting to descend. We are seeing some selling pressure, but I just want to see more. Okay, I know fundamentally the Japanese yen is very strong, so EJ and most other JPY pairs should go down. They should start a nice downtrend. If that happens, I will consider some sell setups. So that is what I'm looking for. I'm not really going to put EJ on the watch list. I think AJ and NJ actually look a bit more interesting. Okay, AJ and NJ look a bit better. What is the reason? Well, we do have a nice pattern. Okay, we do have a nice pattern right here. I do like this most recent price action. I do have to cover the trades. Was I looking for anything? No, I wasn't. Maybe some traders were looking for a reversal right here. So we had this descending. We had a descending and then we had this bullish candle with a clean close. But again, it didn't continue. Instead, it was pretty weak breakout in the end. Why I like this price action? Let's cover that. Well, because we do have this ascending channel right here. Nice ascending structure, which is a bearish pattern. So I trade patterns on the 1 hour chart, and an ascending channel is a bearish pattern. Okay, definitely a bearish pattern. And then we do get a meltdown after that. So we do get some major selling pressure. How I break down this momentum is basically an impulse down and then a bit of a slowdown right here, a bit of a slowdown. And then we continue with the bearish momentum. Then the bearish momentum continues. So also, if you remember, fundamentally AJ, what I showed you like a couple of minutes ago, AJ is very bearish. Okay. Why? Because economically the Aussie is weak and the yen is very strong. Okay. Hello, Mubarig. Marco, do you exit or still holding your gold position? So I'm still in the gold position right here. I'm still in this, currently running some, I would say some okay profit, like a 1 to 3 risk to reward. I'm looking to trail the stop loss. Okay, so that is the game plan, trailing the stop loss probably on the 4 hour. I'm probably going to do it after the live stream. So I'll trail it maybe on this low, or on this one. Okay, so a bit of a more discretionary approach. Either this low as a trail or this low as a trail for the stop loss. Well, I'll see. So hope that clears things up for you. AJ back on the 1 hour. I like the bearish pressure. Okay, I like this bearish pressure. Yeah, no worries, no worries. I would consider definitely some sell setups. Okay, I would consider some sell setups. That is what I'm going to look for. I will add AJ to the watch list. I think it looks good. I think there's some potential in this. So AJ is going on the watch list. AJ looks good. Next one is going to be NJ, New Zealand Japanese yen. Okay. This one looks a bit worse than AJ because here AJ is a bit stronger to sell. Okay. AJ has a bit stronger selling pressure, I would personally say. But what we do have is we do have this nice ascending channel. Okay, nice clean ascending channel as a bearish pattern, which I like. I like that formation. And then we do have a meltdown right here. Okay, we do have a nice sell-off right here in these 4 candles. So this looks pretty good. What I would like to see, I will put NJ on the watch list, and we do have gold as well. What I would like to see is a bit more selling pressure, okay? So a bit more selling pressure for NJ. Just move this down a bit. A bit more, possibly. Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, a bit more selling pressure, and then a flag, break and retest, any sort of a sell setup, right? That is the game plan. That's about it for the things I trade live with my first strategy, my OG strategy. We have the six currency pairs. Conclusion, AJ, very good to sell, both fundamentally and technically. NJ, very good to sell, both fundamentally and technically. I mean, NJ usually follows AJ. So what I'm actually considering is I'm considering to maybe remove NJ from the watch list. Okay, maybe just remove it from here. It's kind of extra work to watch NJ closely, and it doesn't make sense because it moves the same way as AJ. So if AJ is moving well, I can just look at NJ. When AJ is moving like shit, most likely NJ will move like shit. So there's no need to look at that as well. That is something I'm considering. Just kind of removing NJ from here. We'll see. Then I have the 5 main ones, and of course the ones for the second strategy. Okay. What is interesting, a big number, if you're following gold, a big number is 3,000. Okay. I think we are now at all-time highs. Yeah, I think we are. And 3,000 is a big number for gold. So we will see what will happen with that. Will we hit 3,000? If we do, I would expect something similar to happen as it did on Bitcoin when it hit 100K. So if we do hit this, possibly a retrace could happen, and then a bit of a range bound price action. It'll be very interesting nevertheless, whatever happens. I hope it hits 3K. I would definitely like to see it. I'm in a trade as well, so I'm biased, but fundamentally and technically it looks very good. Gold, I mean. The daily chart, we just had a massive rally. Again, if you haven't been following what is happening in the general markets, there's a big risk of sentiment. People are afraid. People are not sure what will happen to the economy, to the US economy. People are afraid of the major crash that is happening in the S&P. As you can see, a big meltdown. And when people are afraid, when there is a risk of environment, then people tend to buy gold. So that's pretty good. That is exactly what you see on the charts. Very nice uptrend, bit of a pause, and now we are possibly continuing with the uptrend. Okay, so we will see what will happen with that. So now we have done the main ones. See, this is my main watch list. What I want to do now is I want to go through some of the most popular instruments, okay, such as these ones. So let's cover that. Let's see what the other instruments are doing. S&P 500, again, a big meltdown. So I was on Trader Nick's live stream today, and we talked about this. So if you're a short-term trader and you're trading the S&P, you would not really look for buy setups here. Okay. It would not be the wisest option to look for buy setups in this huge meltdown. But if you're an investor, this may be a good time as a long-term hold to pick up some S&P 500. What is the reason? Well, if you look online, everybody is panicking, everybody is afraid, and when everyone is in panic mode, when everyone is afraid, usually it is a good time to be a buyer. Same with Bitcoin. So you can see the news, the media, basically your friends, your mom, your dad will all be the most bullish on Bitcoin right on the top, and they will be the most bearish on Bitcoin right on the bottom. Same thing with the S&P. People will be euphoric, very bullish right on the top, and they will be very bearish right when we are nearing the bottom. An anecdote is that I basically told my grandma I'm gonna maybe buy some S&P 500 like 2 days ago, and she said that I'm crazy, that these prices are going to go lower, this is going to crash, the market will just crash, it's going to be like a shit show. And that is a good indicator, like a contrarian indicator, to look for some long-term buy setups. So do with that what you will. But yeah, S&P 500, possibly we could have a bit of a bounce right here. Possibly this could retrace and go all the way up to all-time highs. We will see. The main reason for this crash is, of course, the tariffs and the uncertainty, as I mentioned. So yeah, that's about it. That is my perspective. If you're a short-term trader, I would be leaving this one alone. If we look at the 1 hour, this is definitely crashing lower. Let's see this. Yeah, so definitely crashing lower on the 1 hour. But if you're a long-term investor, or you want to just pick up some S&P as a longer-term hold, well, this may be a good level to get in. Okay. For that, I do recommend Interactive Brokers. I don't have an affiliate link, but I think they're pretty safe. You have to go through a lot of checks, and you have to input a lot of data, which is a pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie. I wasted a lot of time on just filling out their silly forms. It's all because of the European Union and the way that European Union has structured investing into products such as, let's say, what is it? ETFs basically. And if you want to buy the S&P 500 and you live in Europe, you cannot choose the Vanguard fund. You must choose a European alternative to the Vanguard fund that follows the S&P 500. What is the name? Well, if you go to just ETF, actually let me show you this. I think this is gonna be interesting. Okay, present, share here. Okay, so if you go to just ETF, you go to the ETF screener, this is the one you wanna pick up. Okay, it's kind of the biggest. It has around, I think, 99 million euros. Okay, the fees are competitive, the fees are good, so that is what I use. The iShares Core S&P 500 UCITS ETF that tracks the S&P 500, as you can see right here. So it tracks the S&P 500. Okay, and this is only, mind you, if you are coming from if you are from Europe. If you live in the States, you don't have to deal with this bullshit, and you can just, I think I just got demonetized, but fuck it. You don't have to deal with European regulations, so you can just buy the Vanguard fund. Okay, so yeah, that's about it for the S&P. Next one is gonna be the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is pretty much going down. Okay, bearish, going down and bearish. Same as the S&P. So Nasdaq follows S&P. So this is not a surprise. Let me see the retrace though. Minus 13. Oh my God, this is a bigger drop. This is a bigger drop. Minus 10. Yeah, so Nasdaq actually melts down even more than the S&P. Okay, that is interesting. And again, most people online are afraid. Should you be afraid? No, I think this is a great opportunity to be a buyer. This is a great opportunity to pick up some S&P or pick up some Nasdaq for a cheaper price, right? So you don't want to be buying at the top. That is not a good way to buy. It's much better to buy on the dips. Okay, so when the price is cheaper, that is a much better time to buy. That's it for the Nasdaq. For the Nas 100, we have silver. Silver looking bullish on the day, looking very nice right here. Let's see the 1 hour. Yeah, it looks good. It looks okay, especially the last few candles. Look, silver follows gold. Okay, Silver is a close follower of gold. Right here, we do have some big blue candles. Bit of an ascending, bit of corrective price action. That is normal for silver. That is the way silver likes to move in these more corrective channels. So nothing weird about that. Fundamentally, silver is bullish. Okay, silver is pretty bullish, as is gold. So the metals are great. They go up if it's a risk-off environment. If everyone is afraid, if the stocks are going down, if the dollar is going down in value, people jump into metals. They jump into gold. Okay, that would be about it for silver. That's about it for silver. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a pretty sad story. So crypto has just been melting down. What is the reason for that? Well, Bitcoin or most cryptocurrencies act like technology stocks. Okay, so they act like tech stocks. And it is not a surprise that Bitcoin is melting lower, as we can see here, because the Nasdaq is dropping. Usually the two are correlated. Okay, usually the two are correlated. I think I can compare them. Can I though? We click this plus NAS 100. Okay, it's not the greatest view, but you can see it kind of follows. It follows the Nasdaq. And now how can I remove this? Here. Okay, great. So that is about it for for Bitcoin, or it's not it, but that was my point. This thing is not gonna go up. It's not gonna go up until the Nasdaq recovers. So we must see the Nasdaq recover, and then possibly Bitcoin will follow. What is the problem with Bitcoin? Well, you have crypto winters, right? Crypto winters usually last for 3 years. The last one was here from 21 to, I could say, to around 23, right? This was the crypto winter. This was a major one from 2018, you could say, to 2020. We can go even further back from 13 to, I could say, 16, crypto winter. There was a from 13. Okay, this one was just a couple of months. Anyway, so a possible crypto winter may be upon us. And also, I think that the more popular that Bitcoin gets, so the more people buy it, the less explosive moves you will get. Like if you looked at those numbers or those moves back in 17 and then in 21, I think we're getting smaller moves. Okay, the bullish momentum is getting smaller. We can also put in a logarithmic chart. Logarithmic. Okay, so what we get here? Yeah, see, so when you put the logarithmic chart, you can see how the initial moves, the initial explosions were just massive, and now it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's normal. So as the asset keeps getting accumulated and as more people start to get in, as more people start to buy Bitcoin or get to know about Bitcoin, I think the moves are going to be smaller and smaller. We could still hit 1 million. So right now we are sitting at 79,000. I'm around break even on my portfolio. I think on my portfolio I bought around here. I think I did. So I'm at break even. Not the best, but what you gonna do? We could still hit 1 million, but I think it's gonna take a lot of time for us to do that. Maybe 10 years. I think it's gonna take like 10 years is a realistic number for us to hit 1 million in Bitcoin. But it is very possible. I do like Bitcoin. I think there is a big use case for Bitcoin. Have you ever used it? I have, for transferring money, and it's fast, it's easy, it's convenient, it's transparent as well. I did, as I mentioned on Trader Nick's stream, I did a couple of bank transfers this week, and it's slow, it's not intuitive. You need to have a lot of information, like personal information about the guy that you're selling the money to or sending the money to, and it takes 1 to 2 business days. That's quite a lot. Okay, one to 2 business days if it's a bank that is from like abroad, is a lot. And crypto is almost instantaneous. It's very fast. So I think there is a use case for crypto and for Bitcoin, especially as a currency for sending funds. Okay, and for other stuff as well. You have the blockchain technology, which is, of course, has a whole other story. But just for sending funds, it is great. Just try to use it once in a while, and you will see that it is pretty easy and pretty convenient, as well. So that is about it for BTC. Okay, that's it for BTC. Ethereum looks even worse. If any of you have a question, well, is it the time to maybe invest in Bitcoin? Should I be a buyer? Okay, should I get some Bitcoin at these levels? I would say maybe wait for this level of support to hit. That is a good level. So around 68, 70k, maybe a good buy-in. So don't just go and buy a huge amount, but buy a portion. Okay, so dollar cost averaging. You could buy, I don't know, 200 euros once per month. That's a really good plan. You would get a really good price if you did that. 200, 300 euros, also S&P 500. Same thing. If you have, let's say, 400 euros per month to invest, put 300 into the S&P, put 100 into Bitcoin, do it for 12 months, you'll get a great price. I think you'll get a great price. What I do, I just put it all in my trading account most of the time because I like it that way. I want to rely on my personal trading to build up that capital. But if you want to do something passive, if you're not a trader, if you're not really an investor, dollar cost averaging can actually beat my performance and a performance of a big trader because the market is so powerful and you don't really need to be active. So if you buy, let's say, 200 euros worth of the S&P or Bitcoin once per month, and the price is crashing like it is right now on BTC, like it is right now on the S&P, like you could just be a buyer all the way down as we go, bum, 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 bum. And then we one day just recover and you're going to be up massively. You're definitely going to be up massively. Because, look, what is the overall trend? Let's go to the weekly chart, or let's go to the monthly chart. I think that's better. I like the monthly chart. We're just going up, right? For years and years and years, we have been going up. So don't listen to all the perma bears. They're online. You have a lot of people who are always saying S&P is going to crash. Stock market is going to crash. We're going to go down. They're idiots because the evidence has been telling us for decades that the S&P just goes up and up and up and up and up. And this is, look at this correction. On the large scale of things, this is only from 2003, by the way. From the large scale of things, this is nothing. This is a small correction. We could still drop to here and it would still be just a correction. Look at this correction. Look at this one. See 2008, 2020, COVID, 2021 or 22 stock market drop. So we could still drop a lot more, but overall, if you hold it for enough time, if you hold it for enough years, it'll go up. That's just what the evidence is telling us. Same thing with Bitcoin, BTC. See, this is the monthly chart. So we started in 2013. Could the logarithmic chart be a bit better? Nah, not really. So overall, for years and years and years, Bitcoin has just been going up. So don't listen to the perma bears. They're idiots. They don't listen to evidence. They don't listen to reason. We could still get a massive correction all the way to 50K and it would still be a bullish scenario, right? because the evidence is telling us that this is a bullish asset. It has a limited supply, same as gold. If you want to short gold, look at this chart. Why would you want to do that? Look at this monthly chart. This is data from, oh my God. Okay, from 72. From 72, we have just been going higher and higher. What is the reason these assets are just appreciating through the decades? It is because the dollar loses value. Okay, inflation is around 2% every single year. So dollar keeps losing value. They keep printing more dollars. You don't want to be holding dollars in your bank account for years and years and years because they'll be worth nothing in the next 50 years. But assets that are limited in supply, such as gold, such as stocks, such as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a bit tricky. You never know what is going on in the background. I'm not that proficient in Bitcoin, but I've heard it's a limited supply. So that's what the experts say. So I trust them. Anything that is limited supply is gonna appreciate against the dollar if you give it enough time, because they keep printing and printing and printing and printing dollars, and inflation is eating them up and they're becoming worthless, and these things are just going up. So yeah, don't mind that the stock market and crypto is crashing, because you have to look at the bigger picture. DXY. Now, DXY is pretty important. DXY is the dollar index. For those of you that are new to the streams, it is something I have been looking at for the past few months. The DXY measures the strength of the US dollar compared to the other assets, okay, compared to most other assets. You also have the JXY, the Japanese yen currency index, which measures the strength of the yen, against other currency pairs or other assets. And you can see JPY overall going up, DXY, dollar index crashing lower, crashing out of the sky. Very big drop lately. What is the reason for the drop? The reason for the drop is US is not doing well economically. Okay, and the stock market is crashing. The numbers that are coming out of the US are not the best. I think their GDP has missed the target. Let me see that. If I open the US economic heat map, yeah, GDP growth is it's getting smaller. Inflation is getting lower, which is bearish for the dollar. So yeah, the numbers from the US are bearish, but the numbers for Japan, for JXY, are bullish, very bullish actually, pretty good numbers. So if you want to short the dollar yen, it will be a good play possibly. You can even take a look. That is how you want to structure your trades. You want to find a strong currency and you want to find the weak currency and you want to create a trade out of it. See. So yeah, that is the DXY, my forecast. What is my forecast for the DXY? It is bearish. I would expect for us to continue with this bearish pressure. just the technicals alone. So just the technicals alone here are bearish. In my opinion, you have large red candles, very, very strong red candles, a lot of selling pressure. So this this looks pretty bearish. I would not be surprised if we do continue with that sort of movement to go lower, okay? I would not be surprised if that happens, if we do continue lower. So yeah, that's about it for the DXY. That's my forecast. The numbers, even the fundamentals, are telling me that USD is going to lose value. Fundamentally, going to go lower. And kind of the final one for today, which I usually leave for last, which I don't like, to be honest. I don't like US oil. It's very choppy, tough for me to analyze, but it's a very popular instrument. I know a lot of people pay attention to it. A lot of people even trade it. So let's try to break it down. I don't know much about the fundamentals on US oil. I haven't been checking it. I don't really trade it. I've never traded US oil. But the technicals are looking bearish, especially on this daily chart. You have this V reversal right here. Okay, so you have the V reversal, which is a bearish pattern. So the V reversal is a bearish pattern, and then you have a sell-off. You have some selling pressure right here. Okay, so you do have some selling pressure. And yeah, I would expect this to possibly continue lower. There's a lot of selling pressure, so we could continue lower. Let's zoom in on the 1 hour. I know some people took shorts. They took shorts on US oil. The fundamentals could be that Trump wants to basically drill. I think he calls it drill baby drill. He wants to drill a lot of oil out of the US, which in turn lowers the price of oil because there's going to be a bigger supply of it. So when the supply goes up, the price goes down if there's more oil in the market. That could be a fundamental reason. Again, I didn't do my research. I'm sorry about that, but I just have other more important, let's say, instruments for me. So I'm sticking to Forex, gold, S&P, blah, 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 like that. US oil is currently not my thing. I may change my opinion, but currently not my thing. It just kind of moves in this kind of, it moves in channel formations. Okay, so moves in these channel formations, but again, there's some nice selling pressure. So if you want to try to sell this, if you want to try to get in on that bearish pressure, you definitely could. Right now there's a pause on the 1 hour, definitely a pause, so kind of no man's land in this most recent price action. So yeah, basically currently pretty flat. Gabriel, yeah, I'll go through your question. Just let me finish US oil. That's an interesting question, definitely. So we will try to go through that. 1 hour flat, daily bearish. Would I be looking for trades? No, not my thing. So that is about it. We have managed to cover through all of this. And now from a question from Gabriel, let's go back to the euro dollar. Hey, Marco, I hope you're well. I saw Griff's video about Gorilla. What is your opinion on it? So my opinion is pretty similar to Griff's. If you guys don't know, Griff, Nico, and I, we all met in GT. Okay, we all met in Gorilla Trading. And now we started Zentum. So if anyone wants to join the free Discord, just click the link in the description. You can join for free, or you can become a paid member and get the full benefits, get the full course, get the full Discord access, get the access to the Zoom calls, get the access to the mentors. So yeah, definitely take a look. But well, turns out Josh was basically a scammer. It was kind of, the writing was on the wall. I was banned from GT back in, I think it was end of 2023, because I started my own coaching. So I get it. I was a competitor. I get it that they didn't want me in GT and then coaching people on the side. But I got banned a long time ago. And even then, I kind of started to see through Josh's bullshit, and that he's not really trading in the markets, that it's mostly a strategy that he copied from, I think it's Falcon, and he kind of changed some things around and just resold the strategy. But he didn't personally have any success with it. So all of his revenue came from the course. All of his revenue came from the course. And I was on the meetups, like the in-person meetups, for I think 3 times, maybe even 4 times. I think 3 times. So one was in London, Sexy Fish. Second one was in Birmingham. Third one was in Amsterdam. So 3 meetups. They were amazing. I had a lot of fun. I met some great people. Again, I met Griff and Nico. Then we created our own thing. But it was really fun. I'm really glad to have had those experiences. What I'm not glad is that we were basically taught to trade by a guy that didn't really trade. Okay. So he didn't really know what he was talking about. He just copied most of the concepts. He never applied them in the live markets. I'm not saying the concepts don't work, the concepts do work. That's how we got funded and how we got our success in trading. But we learned from a guy that never put his money where his mouth is. So that was the issue. And this all coming out about him being a scammer and him charging like tens of thousands of pounds to people for his course, which is pretty basic and not that great. It's a shock in some way, but also not surprising because I saw the writing on the wall even a year ago or a year and a half ago. What I wanted to say about the in-person meetups, when you would ask Josh about something, about trading, he would quickly change the topic. So he didn't really like talking about trading because he didn't want to invent more lies. I think one time he mentioned that he was trading 300,000 pounds. He had 300,000 pounds in his trading account, and we were like, wow, that was a lie. So I think he wanted to keep his mouth shut and not talk that much about trading, because the more he talked about trading in person, the more we would see that he's not really a trader and that he's just a marketing trading guru who never made any profits in the live markets. I've been in GT for 3 or 4 years, or no, for 2 or 3 years. I never saw a track record. Never a screenshot, never even a fake MetaTrader screenshot. So I never saw any proof that the guy was really trading, and now I know why. So it's a sad story, but I'm taking the best out of it. I met some great people. I met some great traders. I met some real traders, people who were actually trading. I had some good success with the strategy. The strategy is basically proven back from Falcon, which Josh copied it. Josh was in Falcon. He took the strategy, made it his own. So the strategy is proven. The strategy works. We had some great success with it. I'm happy for the people. I'm happy for the strategy. I'm happy for the meetups. They were super fun. And yeah, I'm taking the best out of it. Gabriel says, I was also in GT for 2 years and I left 1.5 years ago. Definitely had the feeling that something was not right. I'm with you. The problem is a lot of people are still kind of licking Josh's bottom and still think that he was this amazing trader when he really wasn't. He was a scammer. So unfortunately, that's how it turned out. But the sooner you realize that and the sooner you come to terms with that, the sooner you can start focusing on your own trading and doing your own thing. Because the strategy is good, the strategy does work. But when you're taught by someone who doesn't really trade, you start doubting the strategy and you start thinking the strategy is a scam. But again, you need to take the best things out of that. You need to look at our experience. You need to look at Griff, Nico, and me, and other ex-GT traders, where we had a lot of success with the strategy. We had a lot of success with prop firms, with payouts, with building our track record. So it works. But you need to learn from real traders. How do you know when someone is a real trader? If they have a proven, verified track record. I have my track record for my IC Markets account. IC Markets is a verified broker. There are a lot of track records from unverified brokers, which is, of course, pretty bad. You should definitely avoid that. So always look if the track record is from a verified broker. And that's the most important, because track records are easy to fake if you have an unregulated broker. Hope that helps. That's about it for the stream. On the watch list, so the recap is, on the watch list is AJ to sell. On the 1 hour, we have a nice clean pattern of an ascending channel and a sell-off. NJ, same thing. I'm in gold with the new strategy, currently kind of forward testing it with smaller risk. Next week, there will be no live stream because I will be traveling. So yeah, next week, no stream. Week after that, we'll probably have a live stream. All of the updates are on my Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it is in the description of this video. It is at Marcos Trading Journey. I post all the updates on there. Make sure you keep up to date on my Instagram. Looks like it's better if I do the technical analysis at the beginning of the stream and then do the fundamentals later, because I've seen like the viewer retention is much better if I start with the technicals. Most people prefer technicals. They really hate fundamental analysis. That's what I noticed. The more I started getting into fundamental analysis, the more pushback I started seeing online. Well, the more I got into it, I saw like the comments on all the videos about fundamental analysis, and I saw how people reacted to fundamental analysis, and their reaction was not good. Their reaction was from someone who just cannot trade profitably. So as a trader, you must have an open mind, otherwise you will never succeed in the long term. You cannot be like just one view. I think I read a great quote in a trading book. It is strong opinions weakly held. So you have a strong opinion, but if there's strong evidence against your opinion, then you change it for a better one. So strong opinions weakly held. Because if you have a strong opinion and you strongly hold it, even when there is a huge amount of evidence against your opinion, well, then you're gonna take on a lot of losses. So my advice for the end of the stream, keep an open mind, research the fundamentals. There's a big trading edge inside of the fundamentals. You will find out some really cool stuff. And yeah, I think we can wrap it up right here. I think we will start the stream at an earlier time. So this time the stream was a bit later. We may start an hour or 2 hours earlier. All of the updates will be on the Instagram. That's it. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.